Just in and so good. Thousands of spring deals at your Nordstrom Rack store. Save big today on new arrivals from Kate Spade New York, Nike, Sam Edelman, Free People, and Madewell, starting at only $30. Great brands and great prices on dresses, denim, sandals, designer bags, and more. So rack your look and get first dibs on spring styles you want now from just $30 at your Nordstrom Rack store. What will you find?
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Today is the day you will lose fat. Come see Dr. T at NJ Diet.
Easiest diet I've ever done. It's changed my life. Come see Dr. T.
Using blood work and DNA testing. 1-855-5NJ-DIET and NJDiet.com. Change your life in only 40 days with NJ Diet. OG.
Make some noise!
My next guest has been called, and might be the best kept secret coming out of Buffalo, New York. His songwriting ability and storytelling ability is incredible. He just dropped his latest album. Some call this his debut album, Tana Talk 3. He's Benny the Butcher, and I want to welcome him to the library with Tonight Go. Thanks for joining me, man.
You already know the butcher coming. You already know.
Nice. So a good friend of mine, and he's also my neighbor, actually also is a Buffalo native as well. And when I told him I was interviewing him, he nothing but great things to say about you and your songwriting ability and your flow, and everything was pretty incredible. But he also remembers you as someone, he remembers you as 2 Chainz Benny Main. So I was wondering if you could just kind of tell us the origin of that name.
Well, that name comes from back in the day. One of my homeboys gave me that name. You know, I used to wear 2 Chainz. I still wear 2 or 3 of them. But back in the day, you know what I'm saying, before all the rappers was doing it, I was wearing 2 Chainz. And one of my homies called me 2 Chainz. My name was Benny. So after wearing the 2 Chainz, he called me 2 Chainz Benny Man. And so after that, I just ran with the name. I liked the name. It was flashy. Then everybody started calling me that. And I had that name since 2005. And, you know what I'm saying, that's just my name. And then it's been shortened to Chainz. Everybody called me Chainz. All my closest friends and family call me Chainz. If you was around me, nobody really called me Benny. Everybody called me Chainz. Some people call me Benny because all this newfound fame or whatever you want to call it. But
right.
My close friends, my day ones, they all call me Chainz because of that name. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's my name. You know, somebody else used that name too, but I used it first.
Sure. So how did, from there, so how did you get, come up with Benny the Butcher? Now it's the name that we obviously all know you as.
Just by, in the song, I said something like the Butcher, you know what I mean? And the fans, man, the Griselda fans, they so loyal and they so down to earth and they so stand up. That's all I had to say. And then they start calling me the Butcher.
Right. And for me, it seems like Buffalo, New York is kind of really making this. I don't know if maybe it's a new thing, a real push to make itself kind of put itself into the map of hip hop. You know, you obviously have yourself, you have Westside Gun and Conway. You have Qadir Latif, a group I've been listening to called 14 Trapdoors, is from Buffalo as well. And so why do you think this push, or is it not a new push at all, is happening from Buffalo MCs to kind of put Buffalo on the map and for the hip hop?
Yeah, it's definitely a push, man. They see what we're doing. They see the opportunity that the Griselda Shady deal created, and they see the trail that Westside Gun and Conway and me is paving for them, and the smart ones is falling in line and doing their homework and working harder than they was working because they know a door got open, so everybody trying to squeeze through that door. They know it's a certain type of a light on Buffalo, you know what I'm saying? So people want to know, like, what's good. It's like, are there any other spitters there? Is there any more talent there? And the answer is fuck yeah. And there's been talent here, but nobody never shined the light on it. So now the light shine, you're going to hear a lot more from Buffalo.
What is, I mean, I think you said it, but what is kind of that one thing that you would want the rest of the country to know about Buffalo, the Buffalo hip hop scene that we just don't know and we should know? It's like the one must thing we must hear.
It's all type of music here. It's like East Coast music here. Buffalo is like it's like a weird place on the map. You know what I'm saying? So it's like East Coast music here. You know what I'm saying? Some of these dudes rap like they from the Midwest. Some of these dudes rap like they from down south. It's just a lot of music here. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo's damn near the middle of fucking nowhere. Just want people to know, like, it's a lot of music here. Don't ever think Buffalo is like lacking in something or don't got what it takes or nothing. Like, man, it's tough here and the people tough here and the smart businessmen here. So, and all that's going to show through the music. That's the first thing that people getting to see from people from Buffalo is the music. So all of that is going to show right through the music.
So I know you were born in '84, and so I don't think this question I'm about to ask you, I don't think it's more of it's a generational thing. I think it might be more of about the school of MCs that come out now. And this is not for me. This is not a knock at the school of MCs that come up now, but it seems like they're less inclined to, I guess, lyrically fill a page. But then you listen to yourself, and you really fill that page with lyrics. Why is that the case for you? I mean, what was your approach going into hip hop that made you say, I want to be a lyricist that fills pages and not kind of let a lot of stuff breathe, I guess?
Yeah, like, to me, I do think it's a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I was born in '84, and I was listening to the music my dad was listening to the music my mom was listening to, and listening to the music that was popular at that time. And I was like artists who was lyricists, people who was rapping about something, who brought something to the table. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I was groomed in that. I was groomed to the Nas's, the Wu-Tang Clan, the Jay-Z's, the motherfucking Cool G Raps, the Mobb Deeps, you know what I'm saying? The Locks, you know what I'm saying? I came up in that era, and those are the dudes that I looked up to in music. And those was all spitters and legendary people, so that's what I'm going to give off. And I feel like it's the same thing going on with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? They listening to rappers who got good melodies, who rich, who making money, who doing good for themselves. But let's just be honest, man, the bar is not there. It's like it don't take that much talent to get on a song and just say a whole bunch of stuff, to rhyme a one syllable word and put some auto tune on it, and you got maybe $250,000 worth of jewelry on it, and you're gonna be good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So kids see that, and then they want to do it too, because they see somebody they like on the radio getting a fucking million spins on the radio and the videos next to the nice cars, next to the nice women, and taking trips, and they hear the music, and they like, yo, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they try it themselves. Like, ain't nobody, well, maybe you is, but when I was listening to Hove and Jadakiss and all them niggas back in the day, like, everybody wasn't listening to that like, yo, I could do that too. Like, fuck no, you can't do that. That's like once in a lifetime talent. That's, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That don't come too often. It's like if you see me playing for the Lakers next to LeBron, and you watch on SportsCenter that Benny just got a $20 million contract for 3 years from the motherfucking Lakers, and then you watch the game every night, and I'm not doing shit. I'm like 0 for 30. I'm shooting. I mean, I can't fucking play in the NBA. But if you see me getting that type of money and playing in the NBA, I guarantee that you'll be trying to try out for the fucking Sacramento Kings or something. You're like, oh, they let anybody play now?
Right.
I'm going to go try out. And that's what it is. It's like, okay, anybody could do it. That's why you have so many people doing it, because the talent level is not that high, and people watch it and they feel like, oh shit, I could do that too. I'm going to the studio tomorrow. So that's what that is.
True. Before I turn to your album, I just want to know, you mentioned a few artists that you obviously grew up listening to, but do you remember that first artist, or maybe that first record you heard that had you say, oh, this is what I want to do with myself? I want to be an artist like him, like her. You know, I want to spit light to the people.
Okay, now this is a 3-part answer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, the one answer is this. Man, when I was a kid, man, watching Another Bad Creation on TV, on the music channel, the Music Box, man, watching them and being at the house with my cousins, me, Sheens on Black, West Side Gun, my cousin Dap, my cousin Stefan, you know what I'm saying? Like we imitated them, that video when it came on. When they danced, we danced. Like, we wanted to be that. Those was kids our age who was doing it. So that made me wanted to, like, you know what I mean, knew that I wanted to do it. But hearing the Nas I Am album,
nice,
and hearing the Reasonable Doubt album, because around those times, that's when I was getting to understand the music. I've been listening to the music and been heard of those artists, but when I Am and A Reasonable Doubt around those times, that's when I understand the music. I could kind of understand a little bit of what they saying. I know drug dealers, and I know I'm learning life lessons and shit like that. So I identify with that music, and I'm like, you know what, this what I want to do. I want to rap. You know what I'm saying? That 98, 97, like that really fucking made 96 to 99 really made me rap. You know what I'm saying? Before that, I really was doing it before that, but those years made me want to rap. Just before those other years, I was a fan. Catching up on my research, I remember writing down like the whole fucking song, The Triumph. Like I wrote that whole everybody verse. I wrote it down on paper so I could memorize the song. You know what I'm saying? But those years and those albums just made my mind up for me.
Turning to your album, which I think is single-handedly is an incredible album. Each track is I did not feel you get some albums where you're like, all right, I could skip this one, this one. Each track is really incredible to listen to. You have a track 97 Hove, and you spit, I was born in 84, but I'm a 97 Hove. So in 97, Jay-Z dropped, obviously, In My Lifetime, Volume 1, and then, of course, prior to that, Reasonable Doubt. Why do you call yourself a 97 Hove for this track, and what is your favorite song off of either Reasonable Doubt or In My Lifetime?
Okay, now I call it 97 Hove because I kind of feel like not comparing myself to him like Fire was like we are rap like him or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Just as like this. Now when Hove put In My Lifetime out, that's 97 Hove, correct? In My Lifetime.
Right.
So when he put that album out, that was after Reasonable Doubt and before Hard Knock Life.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like that's like his transition. So me, I feel like Tana Talk 3 is like it's after My First Brick and 17 Bullets, where projects that I've dropped and people love them, but they didn't get the notoriety that other projects got. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like in the middle. Like I said, I know the streets is watching, so I'm highly skeptical where I'm at in my career. One hit and I be set to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like one step from being like the next big thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like one decision from being the next big thing. And I always use Jay because he's one of my favorite rappers, and it's like he had a storybook career on the outside looking in, but for everything that he's achieved and everything that he's done, it came with hard work. Everything that he achieved, we don't know. Maybe behind closed doors, he probably didn't achieve it. Just like he probably almost didn't achieve it. It's probably like one thing away from him not doing what he did. Just like on Conway's The GOAT album on Die on Christmas, when I said I'm JC, I said what I say. I said I'm Sean Carter. I said I'm Hove minus the plaques, Maybach, and Beyonce. Nigga, I'm Sean Carter selling crack in Marcy. You feel what I'm saying? It's like I'm in the middle. I'm at that transition. You know what I'm saying? And I could feel it. I'm in the middle at that transition wherever he was at. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that.
The track "Good Night" off your album, and I think I could say this for every majority of the tracks on the album, but "Good Night" had me thinking of "Where I'm From" by Jay-Z. Kind of the way, and I said this in the intro, but the way you brought it back to to be frank, where you're from, right? But the storytelling ability you did, and also you do it in a way where you're not glorifying what you're doing. You're just telling us facts.
Right.
What is for me? I mean, what is the story behind this track, and where were you when you you penned it?
Man, the story behind that track is basically we was in Atlanta, and we going through beats for the album, and Wes picked the beat. Wes picked the beat for me to get on, and it's like at that time, like I'm really trying to write some of the best shit I could think of. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I started off like, and I'm still being true to who I am. Started off like I stole a pack, then I sold it back. We rolling lax and got full of gats with shoulder straps. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm rhyming 3-syllable pattern frequently. It's like I'm just trying to be slick. I'm just trying to be hard. I'm just trying to be me in that record. And to be honest with you, I kind of didn't feel like it's weird when you're recording these songs,
right?
Because I record these songs, and then, you know, the audience don't hear them until, you know what I'm saying, until months or weeks later. So It's kind of like, did I get my point across? I had to ask myself. But as soon as everybody hear it, they're like, yo, that shit crazy. That's one of the standout joints. I like that. I like that good night. So that's really one of the first songs that we knew what kind of direction the album was going into. And it's just like my mindset was just like, write some dope shit. You know what I'm saying? You got West Side Gun fresh off like the Hitlers and the Fly Guy, Conway fresh off the Reject and all the projects he was doing. And it's like, I'm next in line. So, you know what I mean? I want to show up and show out.
We rap about our real life because it causes pain, and when you reach certain levels, it causes change. The pain subsides, but the scars remain. You spit in Joe Pesci, 38. Can you talk about those lyrics? But also, what for you? I mean, you touched on it earlier, but what purpose does hip hop serve for you? I mean, are you to talk about yourself, but also to kind of be a voice for those that are, you know, the voiceless, so to say?
Mm-hmm. Like hip hop is, for me, it's like a soundtrack to my life, and I think it is. I also think that's a generational thing. That's why guys my age who grew up when I grew up, like, we don't really too much get into stuff that we can't relate to. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might be good and it might be cool, but if we can't relate to it, then we automatically like cross it out the box.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? And just like the pain subside, the scars remain. That's what anything. I mean, we rap about our real life because I say that because it caused us pain. And they made it popular. Like, you know, these rappers, everything that I go through, that I'm doing, everything in my life, the 3 felonies, the federal dope cases, my brother dying, the shootouts, the all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes made that they made rapping about that popular, and then, like, here I am in the middle of the hood going through that shit, and these dudes is making millions off rapping about it. So, you know what I'm saying? We rap about, that's what we do now. We rap about it. You know what I mean? We rap about the pain. Because that's what people identify with, this Buffalo shit that they never been exposed to. The closest a lot of people been to Buffalo is, you know what I mean, Tana Talk 3 or Fly God or Reject or GOAT. That's the closest 90% of people been to Buffalo are those albums. Mm. So, you know what I'm saying, we giving them that rawness, you know what I'm saying, and keep it raw. You see Conway face twisted and West, you know what I'm saying, his legal issues and the shit that he going through, and me, the loss of my brother, and just everything that I do is like, this shit is just so real. And we haven't been, I don't think the rap game been exposed to nothing that's real in a long time. And they have, I'm not saying that we the only street dudes in the industry, but at a high level. You know, the street dudes of this era, they don't come out at a high level. You know, these record labels, they put millions and millions of dollars behind these young kids or anybody who's singing the tune or anybody who sound like the last person who had a hit. Right. You know what I'm saying? They don't put the music in like guys like me. I got 3 felonies. Like I said, guys like me are in prison. You know what I'm saying? Before this record deal, I had to tell myself, had to think about it, like, you know what, maybe I won't get a record deal. Maybe I'm gonna be in the hood for the rest of my life. Maybe I'm gonna do this shit till I'm dead or I'm in jail. I thought like that because when I was working my hardest, and I was still nice, I was working my hardest, like nothing was really happening for me, and I had to think like, man, this shit don't happen like for real gangsters. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would it? And it kind of brought me to reality. Like, man, come on. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, get a record deal, be going on tour and be doing interviews like I'm doing right now. I'm like, yo, wake the fuck up. Like, you a street nigga. Like, and that don't happen for people like you. You know what I mean? So we just give them the raw story, man. Make it raw. I try to make it as raw as I can, man. I try to tell you everything that I went through. Because, like I said, I know I'm not the only person going through it.
Right. On Broken Bottles, you mentioned the critics, right? You spit. I heard they're sick of me rapping about the drugs. So you mentioned these people that are just trying to, I guess maybe have you stop rapping about the drugs or whatever. But on Broken Bottles in particular, who are you referring to that kind of want you to stop rapping? And what's their, I guess, not a good argument. What's their argument for you to stop doing that?
I don't know. You know, I read the comments. I read the comments on the YouTube videos. I read the comments in the forums. You know, I'm not. You know, people think we rappers and we doing tour and we be next to other celebrities that we so far removed from reading comments. Like I literally read everything. You know what I'm saying? Like if if anybody ever, y'all listen to this, you ever put a disrespectful comment about me, or if you ever big me up in a comment, like I read it, and if you big me up, you know what I mean, I shout you out. You know what I mean, I appreciate that. If you said some crazy shit, I read it and fuck you. But I see people like, yo, all he do is rap about drugs. I'm sick of hearing Benny rap about prison and drugs. And then I seen this comment yesterday. I put the freestyle out and a couple of days ago, and I seen somebody's like, what is he rapping about? Bragging about being a mid-level drug dealer. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then that just goes to show you how people are brainwashed. Like the average street dude, drug dealer, is a mid-level dealer. You know what I mean? People let these rappers believe them that it's 30 people in one hood with 32 kilos. That's not the truth. Right. The average drug dealer is somebody with maybe 10 to 30 grand. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he's living in his hood like a kingpin, and he's doing business. That's like the average drug dealer. Literally, that's like above average, because the really average drug dealer, you know what I'm saying, probably never seen 10,000. But how, you know what I'm saying? But when you a certain dude, you play at a certain level, how we was playing, I mean, the average nigga is got like 20 to 40 grand in his stash, and he just moving around, and he breaking his neck to keep his money flow up, and he's running around. But for somebody to say he's bragging about being a mid-level, like that's what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people hear these other rappers get on these tracks and talk about kilos and Pablo Escobar and shit like this, and none of these dudes never sat in the prison before. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not real. You know what I'm saying? You watch a movie and see somebody get shot in the stomach and then run 6 blocks. Like, that's not real. You feel what I'm saying? And like, these dudes, they paint a false picture, and like, it's the craziest part. I don't blame the guys for painting a false picture. They're trying to get their money, but when people believe it, I blame them. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, is you that dumb to believe it? So I'm just letting people know, like, I know y'all sick about me rapping about the plugs. I'm rapping about the drugs I stretch, but like, I can even go further and write a whole album about every plug I dealt with. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm doing what works for me and my audience. So like, if it's too much for you, it's obviously not for them. You know what I'm saying?
Why? Actually, you're obviously in terms of your pen game is obviously incredible, and you could. I imagine you could probably be that rapper to glorify, extra. Have you? Why has your approach always been? And this is part of this album is about you telling. You're telling the story of the streets. You're telling true stuff from the streets. Why have you why have you not decided to glorify, get that paycheck quickly, and then get out? I mean, how do you think this is? Does it help? Does it hurt? The longevity that you have in this game.
It's hard to put a hand on. It's hard to say, does it help or does it hurt me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But one thing we can't say it hurt me, because I rap all kind of ways. And people who get on the internet and say like, yo, he only rap one way, like, they obviously didn't do a research on me, because I got 3 days before West Side Gun dropped Fly God, I dropped 1 on 1, and that was a whole trap album. I'm rapping trappy on there. I mean, trap beats, everything. There's no East Coast hip hop beats on it. It's all trap beats. And I took over the whole upstate New York with that. Literally, you know what I'm saying? People thought I had, with no budget, a situation I created for myself. We went on a little tour. We did everything. I took over the fucking shit with that. So it's like, and then when I did that, like the radio, I got a few radio stations on it, but that didn't help get me to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And I did that. That did not help me get to the next level. This way I'm rapping right now helped me get to the next level. So it's all about what people paying attention to. Like we was talking about earlier, that lane of rap is so watered down. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like they, even if you're doing it and you're doing it at a high level, they don't pay attention to it because that's all they hear. Like, it's watered down. And it's another thing. It's like, I walk around, I meet these dudes. I meet my idols who I idolized for years over music. The Raekwons, the Jadakisses, the whole locks, basically. You know what I'm saying? The Ghostface Killer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I could go on, and I talk to these dudes, and all these dudes tell me like, yo shit fire. Yo, this and that. Yo, you got it. And they tell me like that. And that's enough validation for me. You feel what I'm saying? Like the experts who know what the fuck they talking about. These dudes who don't sit and witness every era. You know what I'm saying? And when they tell me that sincerely and look me in my eye, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know shit like, no, your shit dope. Like look me in my eye and tell me this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's more validation than I need than the money. You know what I'm saying? Because we're all gonna get money. Like if somebody got a Bentley truck outside, and I got a Range Rover outside, like I'm not mad. If somebody got a bust down AP on their wrist, and I got a bust down Rolex on my wrist, like I'm not mad. As long as I'm good, I'm good.
Right, definitely.
So you can't sell yourself for money. Like we're gonna make money. You're gonna get money. Now when you're selling yourself just to make more money when you're already gonna get money, like that's a character flaw. And that's like young nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. So like all the validation I need is the respect of my peers. That's more than money that I'm already going to get. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be looked at in this rap game. You got to show your face. You feel what I'm saying? You got to show your face. You got to bump into these dudes. When these dudes see me, I want them to have respect on their face of me. Like, no, him, Benny the Butcher, Griselda Records, he's one of the top nicest niggas. I don't want to be like, oh, yo, Benny Butcher, yeah, he got the #1 record in the country. Yeah, that sound good. I want that. Of course I want that, but like, I don't want that to be my only accolade. Like, the record is dope. Like, some dudes got #1 records, and the record's not dope. They just #1 records.
Right.
Like, I want people to feel me, and I want people to understand that I'm one of the best niggas, and I want the nods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in prison with Emory Jones, Jay-Z man. Like, I was in a federal prison with him. You know what I'm saying? And he heard the album, and he reached out to West, like, yo, tell Benny we listen, and that shit fire. Like, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like approval of people who opinions matter. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the money, we're going to get money. You see motherfucking West shit wearing $250,000 worth of jewelry. You see Conway got all type of shit, jewelry, you know what I mean, taking flights in Miami all the time. And I mean, like we're going to get money. So it's not about selling yourself out for money. It's about honor. Right. And it's about respect. You know what I'm saying? And that means a lot to me.
As I mentioned in the intro, and you know, you read about the album, some people are referring to this album, Tana Talk 3, as your debut album, but obviously you've done more projects prior to this. Do you look at this as your debut album, and also if there is an album besides this that you'd want to tell, like, all right, you heard this album, now this is the must-listen-to album if you really want to know, like, me as an artist? Is there that album out there that you created?
Yeah, it is. But I definitely look at this as my debut album because it's like my coming out party to a lot of people who heard of me. I mean, a lot of people who haven't heard of me. And this is my first, and it actually is my debut album because it's on Griselda Empire. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's my first album I did with a major distributor. You know what I mean? With an independent distributor or whatever. But man, my first brick. Butcher on Steroids, 17 Bullets, man. I can go on and on about projects that I dropped just last year. I mean, this is in the past 2 years that I dropped, and you would get the same feeling that you got from Tana Talk 3. I'm sure you would get the same feeling from those projects, man. So, man, people, if you like Tana Talk 3, man, go back and do your research. I'm pretty sure they did.
Right, definitely. I got two more questions for you. Is there a favorite verse or even lyric from Tana Talk 3 that you wrote that kind of it's your favorite on this album so far?
Yep. This lyric to me, from 97 Hope, this one lyric to me kind of sums up 90% of what I'm trying to tell people on this album. My bitch asking me to settle down. I was reckless at selling brown. She know I'm finally on level ground. I'm trying to change, but in my head it sounds telling me I could be El Chapo instead of Kevin Lyles.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So that's basically one of my favorites. It's a whole bunch of lines on there, but that's basically one that jumped into my brain when you asked me.
And then lastly, you've been doing this writing for a good amount of time. Is there do you remember the first verse that you wrote, or even now to this day, that kind of you read and you're like, holy shit, I wrote that? Like, you're like, wow, I'm good.
Yeah, man. To be honest with you, man, it's got to be something. It got to be something off. It got to be something off Tana Talk 2. Got to be something. Maybe you know what? It got to be something off Tana Talk 1. Tana Talk 1. Because what I tell people, when I dropped Tana Talk 1, I was on house arrest. I had an ankle bracelet on, federal house arrest, and I couldn't leave the house. I had the studio in my apartment, and I was just working, and I really threw myself into the music because that's all I had to do. So I threw myself into the music, and then I dropped that, and then I took over to my whole neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was very, very, very low budget shit. I was just a neighborhood dude doing it, but I put a lot into it, and people heard it, and they like, yo, that's crazy. I took over the neighborhood. When I dropped Tana Talk 2, I was more seasoned, and when I put that out, I was really in the studio every day for like 6-7 hours a day, every day. I put more into that, and then when I put that out, I took over the whole fucking city. Real shit.
Damn.
And now on Tana Talk 3, me and Derringer, we cooked this up. I sat with Alchemist, we cooked this up. I put even more into this, and now I'm taking over the world is being introduced to me. So definitely something from Tana Talk 1 is when I got this reaction. The same reaction I'm getting now, I got it on a smaller scale in my neighborhood. I come from a neighborhood where dudes was already rapping, you know what I'm saying? It's a rap group, niggas from my block, my homeboys called Killer Brown, and they was doing shit. They performed at the Apollo. They was doing local shows and opening up for dudes, and they had dancers, and they all wear the same shit. They was very professional, and they was from my neighborhood, and I'd be kicking it with them at their house, and then when it was time for them to rehearse, like I had to leave. You feel what I'm saying? So I looked up to those dudes. They from Montana Avenue. So when I did Tana Talk 1, they knew I rap, but when I did Tana Talk 1 and shit like that, they was like, nah, he got it for real. Like, he can do this shit. He can do this shit for real. And like I said, when those dudes looked at me as a rapper, when they been to the Apollo, you know, that's big. You know what I mean? Somebody from your neighborhood performed on an Apollo stage and traveled and did this, that was big. So when they let me know, like, yo, you got something, that's the equivalent to me dropping Tana Talk 2 and then the rest of the city like, yo, you got something. And that's equivalent for me being on the phone with Ghostface the other day. He telling me like, yo, you got something.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. New album, Tana Talk 3, incredible artist, Benny the Butcher. Benny, thank you so much for taking time to interview on The Library with Tim Heinecker. Thank you so much, man.
You know, I appreciate that, man. Everybody, go get Tana Talk 3. It's streaming live everywhere right now, man. I appreciate you for this interview.
Justin and so good. Thousands of spring deals at your Nordstrom Rack store. Save big today on new arrivals from Kate Spade New York, Nike, Sam Edelman, Free People, and Madewell, starting at only $30. Great brands and great prices on dresses, denim, sandals, designer bags, and more. So rack your look and get first dibs on spring styles you want now from just $30 at your Nordstrom Rack store. What will you find?
Meet the next generation of podcast stars with SiriusXM's Listen Next program, presented by State Farm. As part of their mission to help voices be heard, State Farm teamed up with SiriusXM to uplift diverse and emerging creators. Tune in to Stars and Stars with Issa, as host Issa Nakazawa dives into birth charts of her celeb guests. This is just the start of a new wave of podcasting. Visit statefarm.com to find out how we can help prepare for your future. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.